Everyone knows somebody who should watch Kitchen Independence with David Doc Robertson, Saturday mornings at 10:30 on KPSE My TV. Today we're going south of the border. Hi, welcome back to Kitchen Independence. I'm your host, David Doc Robertson, and today we're going south of the border with a camarones, a Mexican shrimp cocktail de camarones, mexicana. Now, this is another one of those dishes that I don't have to go anywhere near the stove. Look, you didn't see that. As you can see, there's celery, cilantro, cucumber, avocado, tomato back here, and all kinds of sauces. Oh, and lime juice too. You can't forget the lime juice. And the main ingredient, shrimp. So I'm going to start off by cutting the tails off of these guys with my handy dandy spatula. Now, as we always say, we promise that this show will not go too fast for you. And I was almost tempted when I started this program. I was almost tempted to cook another dish with it. Something like fajitas, that will go really nice with this. But then I said, hey, you're not Bobby Flay or somebody. You're a quadriplegic in a wheelchair, and you're not going to try to make people believe that you cook fajitas and make a shrimp cocktail all within a 30-minute time span. So I have to be realistic. All right, so maybe fajitas will be done in the next show. So here we go. We cut the shrimp. Okay, so now we separate all the rest of the tails. Put those over here. Okay. And then we dump the shrimp in a nice little dish. Now I'm only making enough for me this time. And that's how I judge the number of shrimp. I guess you could say a cup of shrimp for every person that's going to eat. All right. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is let's just move this out of the way. And we're going to smother it with some cocktail sauce. I like to use a little spicy cocktail sauce, and you can get whatever kind you like. Okay. All right, I'm going to carefully just aim that over here. I would say that's about a third of a cup. And now I'm going to use my fork and mix all of this in like so. Make sure that they're soaking and they're getting all of this flavor. I might need to add a little bit more. See, that's the thing with cooking. You can always add more. Remember this. You can always add more, but once you put too much, then that's just too bad. Now, I think I have enough in here. They're all coated. Okay. All right, so the next thing I'm going to add is the cucumber. Even Zorro could have done that as well. that little part. Maybe do another one. Move that one out of the way. Okay, here we go. Oh, and I want to thank you guys for the emails. Let's do 3 slices. Keep them coming, and like I said, I always answer them personally. This is a new trick that I learned. I don't know if I've told you this before, but I am not a practiced chef, although I did teach once at Le Cordon Bleu. And I got this trick from Bobby Flay. And all of these are in little pieces. That makes it a lot easier to dice. Add those to the mix. And there we have the cucumbers. And next will be the celery. Here we go, hiding underneath the cilantro. Now I bought this celery, which was already cut. That makes it easier for me because I don't really eat a lot of celery, and I'd hate to buy a whole bushel and then waste it. Now, when we come back, we'll continue with the Mexican shrimp cocktail. Get the story behind the wheelchair. Experience the trauma of shattered dreams and a poetic boxing match that ended faster than a flash of lightning. I Tried to Box with God, the memoir of David Doc Robertson. Get yours today on Amazon.com. Welcome back. Now while we were away, I took the liberty to move things around because it's a lot easier for me to go across my body and pour things in there. It has to do with the type of muscles that I had to come back after my injury. You have to remember that when I was first injured, I couldn't move at all. Alright? So the next item I'm going to dice here is a tomato. And as I've told you before, I like to use very firm tomatoes. And this one seems to be going just fine. Alright? While I'm doing this, I'd like to give a shout out to you veterans. As you know, I always appreciate everything that you've done for us. The sacrifice that you and your family make. Because your families have to endure your absence. I'm sure they miss you a whole lot. Okay, so we've gotten rid of most of the seeds here. And now we just get the meat dice that. That is, if we can get it to stay still long enough. You have to remember that when you're in my condition, one of the most important things is that you have to remain patient, or you lose your temper and go, I hate this, and then just throw everything down on the floor. But this is not a movie, and if you throw everything on the floor, it has to be cleaned up. Okay, so now that we have all of this chopped, we'll just add it to everything else over here. Now we'll move on to the avocado. Okay. I'm going to try something. Now remember, you may recall the last time I did the avocado, I cut off one part and then I laid it flat, and that made it real easy for me to slice the avocado. But this time I'm going to see if I can do a little trick that I saw Bobby Flay do. And what he did was he cut all the way around. See if I can do that. Alright, so are you on a close-up of this?
Yep.
Okay. Alright. It seems that I'm having a hard time turning this thing. And it looks like I'm getting it. Okay, all I have to do is finish and split this sucker in half. And I did it. Alright. From now on, it will be my way or the highway. Now I got the seed out. I'm going to just put it right over here. And then I'm going to get pieces of this avocado to come apart. I will just cut this in half. I will do the same thing with this piece over here. So I'll just turn it over, cut it in half like this. Get the peel off. Okay, so now that I have the avocados done, I'm going to just slice them. Add them over here. And for the rest, I will salt it and have a little snack while we take our next break. We'll be right back.
They knew they were acting on an impulse, but what is life without adventure? Though how would they measure success? 1 year or 2? Or maybe they would look at one another 60 years from that moment and tell each other that they did it. That's what they wanted, and pledged in their hearts to work for it every day. Read about these two and their passionate dedication in David Doc Robertson's Body and Soul. Get yours today in paperback or the ebook format on Amazon.com. That's Body and Soul. Get yours today.
In your nasal passages. So it's a good thing to try to put color, green and red, orange. It doesn't matter as long as it comes out of the ground. Put that in your diet at least once a day. All right. So now the cilantro and the fight has started. No, I'm just kidding. Just cut this up a little bit, and this is not hard. Cut, you can see that comes apart quite easily. Sometimes when you're cooking and you're in this condition, it may take longer than you want it to. And I know it's easy to say, okay, just be patient. But I've told you, like, you can turn on music. Or if you don't have music, you can always make your own music. Sometimes I sing. I like to sing. You know, I keep current. Songs such as "Come with me, baby," da, 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 da. "Come with me, baby," or you know, something old school like "Drifting on a Memory." Ooh, ain't no place I'd rather be than with you. Wow, loving you. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, I almost forgot what I was doing here. All right, I know you guys were into that. And if you want to book me for a concert, just contact me at my email. Okay, so now we're going to add this cilantro over here. All right, that's going in really nice. We just need a little bit. Okay. And just flip that over there. And flip this back in here. Okay, and I think that should be about enough. And now, I'm going to get rid of this pan and move the dish right here in front of me. Because we're almost done, we're going to add the last bit of elements. Okay, the first one is a can of vegetable juice. Now this one in particular, I hope I'm covering up the label properly because there's no free advertising on this show. Okay. Now, this has been in the freezer and so it's nice and chilled. And I just add enough here. You can see that that's coming out nicely. Okay. Next I will add some ketchup. Okay, so the amount of ketchup you add is according to your taste. Alright, that was about a tablespoon and a half. I'm not going to put the top on. I'm going to mix that in. Make sure we don't spill it. One more element, and that's put a little spicy hot sauce in here. Okay, now that the shrimp have been sitting in the cocktail sauce and everything else has been sitting in the sauce. And then we added the ketchup and now the hot sauce. I will give it one more taste. But first, before I do that, I almost forgot one thing. That's this little green bad boy right here. Lime juice. Okay. Okay. Well, there's a little squirter on here. I'm going to add just about a teaspoon of this. Okay. And round 2 has just started. Okay. Put that over there. Let's mix that in. Let's give this a taste. Wow, this is really good. As you can see, it was not difficult to make. All you have to do is chop up a few things, throw them in your container, pour the juice over, and season it to your whatever your palate likes. Wow, this is really good. I'm going to enjoy this as soon as we cut. This has been Kitchen Independence. I'm going to thank you for joining us this time. Until next time, I'm David Doc Robertson. Thanks.